What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into our first news. Daniel Cormier recently shared his detailed thoughts on the much-discussed matchup between Tom Aspinall and Gane, emphasizing that Gane would likely have been the toughest challenge of Aspinall's career, had the unfortunate eye poke not occurred. In Cormier's view, this was shaping up to be a defining moment for both heavyweights, one that truly tested their composure, adaptability, and overall fight IQ inside the octagon. Cormier began by noting that Gane fought exactly the way many had expected him to fight against Jon Jones earlier in his career. This time, however, Gane showcased the complete version of himself, composed, technical, and strategically sound. He defended takedowns with remarkable precision and kept Aspinall honest with sharp, consistent striking. According to Cormier, Gane's jab was particularly effective, landing cleanly multiple times and even leaving Aspinall's face bloodied. This was a version of Gane who seemed not only physically prepared but mentally locked in, ready to prove that he still belongs at the very top of the heavyweight division. At the same time, Tom Aspinall was showing why he's considered one of the most dynamic talents in the sport. Despite taking damage, Cormier pointed out that Aspinall looked surprisingly calm and even happy to be in the cage with someone who could truly push him. He was smiling, clearly relishing the opportunity to be tested in ways he hadn't before. This, Cormier explained, was a rare moment where Aspinall was being forced to dig deeper into his skill set, to use weapons and strategies that he had never needed to rely on in previous fights. Throughout the bout, Aspinall was landing his own clean shots, showcasing his speed and versatility. He even threw a high kick, something Cormier admitted he had never seen from Aspinall before. The fact that Aspinall felt compelled to use such techniques highlighted just how much Gane was challenging him. For Cormier, this was a sign of growth and evolution, a glimpse of Aspinall's willingness to expand his game when faced with true adversity. Cormier went on to explain that fights like this are where elite athletes truly reveal their depth. There are layers to a fighter's game, he said, that can only be uncovered when they face opponents capable of extending them, forcing them to think, adapt, and showcase the full spectrum of their abilities. Against Gane, Aspinall was wrestling more, kicking more, and experimenting with different angles and approaches. He was using every tool in his arsenal because he had no choice. Unfortunately, as Cormier lamented, the fight was cut short before fans could see how the battle would have truly unfolded. Still, he made it clear that Gane seemed more prepared and more complete than he had been in a long time. His composure under pressure, his defensive awareness, and his precision striking all combined to remind everyone why he was once considered one of the most technical heavyweights in the sport. Cormier concluded that this matchup had all the makings of a career-defining test for Tom Aspinall, one that could have pushed him to his absolute limits. While the eye poke ended the fight prematurely, it left a lasting impression on Cormier and fans alike. This was the kind of fight that reveals who truly belongs among the heavyweight elite. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out, and ensures you'll never miss an update. Moving on to another news. Gaethje recently opened up about his fighting future, revealing that his next goal is to share the octagon with the newly crowned featherweight champion, Ilia Topuria. Speaking candidly, Gaethje said that he plans for his next fight to align with Topuria's next appearance, regardless of when that might be. For Gaethje, this isn't just about competition, it's about timing, pride, and continuing his legacy as one of the most exciting fighters in the sport. Gaethje explained that his initial hope was to face Topuria as early as January, but he has started to accept that this timeline may no longer be realistic. "My next fight, I am planning on fighting whenever Ilia Topuria is fighting," Gaethje stated. "I was hoping they would let me fight him in January, but I can't really see that happening now. The main question, according to Gaethje, is when Topuria himself plans to return. As of now, that remains uncertain. The biggest question is, when is Ilia fighting again? I don't know the answer to that, and I don't think anyone does except him and his team," Gaethje added. The former interim lightweight champion also floated the idea of facing Topuria on the rumored White House card, an event that has generated massive buzz due to its potential symbolic importance and star-studded lineup. Gaethje believes the matchup between him and Topuria would be a perfect fit for such a monumental card. "Best case scenario now is they just put us on the White House card. I can't imagine why they wouldn't put that fight there," he said confidently. "He's a champion. He's very popular. I'm an American. I'm just as deserving as anybody in the lightweight division." Gaethje's confidence isn't without merit. Over the years, he has built a reputation as one of the UFC's most dependable and electrifying athletes athletes, a fighter who never backs down from a challenge, never pulls out of bouts, and always delivers for fans and the promotion alike. I've never not shown up for a fight, Gaethje emphasized. I've never let the UFC down, never failed them, and I've always been there for them. His loyalty to the organization and willingness to take on all challengers have made him a fan favorite and a company man through and through. What makes the potential Gaethje vs Topuria fight so intriguing is the stylistic and emotional intensity it promises. Topuria, the confident and undefeated featherweight champion, has been eyeing bigger challenges, even hinting at future fights outside his division. Gaethje, meanwhile, is a proven warrior with knockout power, relentless pressure, and an iron will. The clash between Topuria's precision and Gaethje's chaos would be an explosive meeting of two distinct fighting philosophies, and a dream matchup for fight fans around the world. As Gaethje wrapped up his comments, he made it clear that representing his country on such a historic stage would mean everything to him. I expect to get that fight and represent the United States of America on the White House lawn, he declared proudly. Hell yeah. For now, Gaethje remains patient, waiting for clarity on Topuria's next move. But one thing is certain, whenever Ilia Topuria steps back into the cage, Justin Gaethje intends to be there, ready to fight, ready to entertain, and ready to prove once again why he's one of the most beloved and battle-tested warriors in UFC history. Moving on to another news, Sean O'Malley recently shared his thoughts on the heartbreaking situation surrounding Tom Aspinall's recent setback, expressing genuine sympathy for the interim heavyweight champion. Speaking candidly, O'Malley admitted that he feels bad for Aspinall, believing that the British star missed out on a monumental opportunity that could have defined his career. According to O'Malley, had Aspinall secured the win, his next fight might have been nothing short of historic, a showdown with Jon Jones at the highly anticipated White House event. O'Malley began by reflecting on the what-if scenario that now hangs over Aspinall's career. What could have been if Tom Aspinall goes out there and wins, he mused. That's the Jon Jones potential fight at the White House. There's so much that Tom missed out on because of that. O'Malley emphasized how unfortunate the situation is, noting that it's sad to see such a talented and hard-working fighter lose the chance to elevate himself into superstardom due to circumstances beyond his control. From O'Malley's perspective, the timing and magnitude of this missed opportunity make it especially painful. A win for Aspinall, he argued, would have reshaped the entire heavyweight division. It would have made the heavyweight division so much more fun, O'Malley said. The whole division has been crazy with Jon Jones in the mix. You've got Tom defending an interim belt, Jon recovering from injury, and everyone waiting for that one massive unification fight. It's been chaos, but the kind of chaos fans love. O'Malley pointed out that Aspinall's situation is particularly complicated because of how the UFC heavyweight landscape has evolved. Aspinall had already proven himself by capturing the interim title and defending it in dominant fashion. The natural next step was supposed to be Jon Jones, the reigning undisputed champion and one of the greatest fighters in MMA history. But with Jones reportedly uninterested in facing Aspinall, and others like Alex Pereira also showing hesitation about moving up to fight him, O'Malley admitted that it's difficult to predict where Aspinall goes from here. Jon doesn't want to fight Tom. Alex doesn't want to fight Tom. So what do you even do? O'Malley asked. It's a weird spot. I think Dana White said he's going to make a rematch, but still, it's hard to know how that plays out. He went on to suggest that while a rematch makes sense competitively, it doesn't fully replace the lost opportunity of a blockbuster fight against Jones, a matchup that would have drawn global attention and cemented Aspinall's status among the sport's elite. Despite the disappointment, O'Malley praised Aspinall for his composure and professionalism. He acknowledged that Tom remains one of the most skilled and likable figures in the sport and that fans still want to see him succeed. Tom's a great dude, O'Malley noted. He's talented, respectful, and exciting to watch. He'll bounce back, but it's still tough not to think about what could have been. In closing, O'Malley reflected on how unpredictable MMA can be, where one unfortunate moment can drastically alter the trajectory of a fighter's career. It's just super unfortunate, he said. Tom was right there, on the verge of something massive. It would have been one of the biggest fights ever for the heavyweight division, especially on a stage like the White House card. But that's this sport, anything can happen. O'Malley's words capture the bittersweet reality of the fight game. In a sport built on opportunity, timing, and risk, even the best fighters can find themselves one moment away from history, or heartbreak. Moving on to another news, Jon Jones has officially responded to Alex Pereira's bold callout, and he's accepted. Following weeks of speculation about who Jones might face upon his long-awaited return, the reigning UFC heavyweight champion appears ready to meet the newly crowned light heavyweight king, Alex Pereira, on the highly anticipated UFC White House card. The announcement sent shockwaves through the MMA community, as two of the sport's most dangerous and accomplished fighters now seem poised for a historic clash. The story began shortly after Pereira reclaimed his light heavyweight title from Magomed Ankalaev. Following that victory, Pereira made headlines with a respectful yet firm challenge directed toward Jon Jones. He also took a moment to acknowledge Jones's personal loss, the passing of his brother Arthur, before expressing his desire to meet Jones inside the octagon. It was a gesture that earned admiration from fans and even from Jones himself, who has rarely received such measured and respectful challenges. Fast forward to the aftermath of UFC 321, where the Tom Aspinall vs Cyril Gane fight ended abruptly in a no contest due to an IPO. The unsatisfying conclusion left the heavyweight division in disarray, creating a vacuum for a fresh, marquee matchup, one that could reignite fan interest and reshape the division. It was then that Alex Pereira reignited the idea of facing Jones, posting a cryptic but unmistakable message on Instagram. Pereira wrote, "Let's make the heavyweight division great again," adding a stonehead emoji, a bone, and a house, a symbolic reference to his nickname, Stonehead, Jones's moniker, and the upcoming White House event. The post immediately went viral, sparking intense debate about whether Jones would respond and whether the UFC would be willing to book such a high-profile cross-divisional bout. To the surprise and delight of fans, Jon Jones didn't stay silent for long. Taking to Twitter, Jones directly acknowledged Pereira's challenge and accepted with confidence and class. "Alex, I'd be down to bring the highest skill level to the White House," Jones wrote. "I appreciate the respect you showed. Let's dance." The statement instantly sent social media into a frenzy, with fans and fighters alike praising Jones's response and speculating about what could become one of the biggest fights in UFC history. Sources close to the situation suggest that Jones's acceptance may have been partly motivated by his frustration with the current heavyweight picture. With Tom Aspinall's fight ending prematurely and questions lingering over potential matchups with Stipe Miocic or Cyril Gane, a super fight with Pereira represents both a challenge and a massive payday. Pereira's meteoric rise, his devastating striking, and his calm demeanor make him one of the few fighters capable of generating genuine intrigue against a legend like Jones. If finalized, the matchup could serve as a symbolic bridge between eras: Jones, the most dominant champion of the past decade, versus Pereira, the new face of technical violence and precision striking. It would also mark a historic occasion for the UFC, potentially taking place at the White House in what could be the most prestigious event the promotion has ever held. Jon Jones's tweet ended with a simple but powerful sentiment: "Let's dance." And with that, one of the most electrifying potential showdowns in MMA history may finally be taking shape: Jon Jones vs Alex Pereira, a clash of legends destined for the biggest stage of all. Moving on to another news, Umar Nurmagomedov has made it clear that he's not interested in waiting on the sidelines any longer. The undefeated bantamweight contender recently expressed his frustration with the current state of the division and stated that if he's not next in line for a title shot, he's more than willing to face either Ayman Zahabi or Deiveson Figueiredo in his next fight. In his statement, Umar was direct and to the point, emphasizing his readiness and eagerness to stay active. "If I will not fight for the title, please give me a fight," he said. "Send me the location. Send me the opponent's name." It's a message that reflects the signature Nurmagomedov mindset, one built on discipline, competition, and the desire to prove superiority through action rather than words. Umar's position in the bantamweight division has been one of growing tension. With an unblemished record and several dominant performances inside the octagon, many fans and analysts believe he deserves a title eliminator, if not an outright shot at the championship. However, with current champion Sean O'Malley already tied up and the top contenders like Merab Dvalishvili and Corey Sandhagen also in the mix, Umar has found himself in a frustrating waiting game. Rather than sitting idle, Nurmagomedov has decided to take matters into his own hands. He mentioned two potential opponents by name: veteran Ayman Zahabi, who is riding a solid winning streak, and former flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo, who recently moved up to bantamweight and has already made a strong impression in the division. "There's Figueiredo, there's Zahabi," Umar said confidently. "Both are good fighters, both are winning. Why not?" The mention of Figueiredo is particularly intriguing. The Brazilian former champion has transitioned successfully from flyweight, bringing his power and finishing instincts to 135 pounds. A matchup between him and Umar would not only be a stylistic clash of elite grappling and striking but also a fight with serious implications for the bantamweight title picture. On the other hand, background, Ayman Zahabi, brother of TriStar Gym's head coach Firas Zahabi, has quietly built momentum with his precise striking and smart, methodical approach to fighting. A bout with Umar would serve as a major step up in competition for him, and a chance for Nurmagomedov to prove his dominance against another skilled technician. Umar's willingness to fight anyone, anywhere, is consistent with the legacy of the Nurmagomedov family name. Like his cousin Khabib, Umar embodies a no-nonsense attitude toward competition. He doesn't call people out with trash talk or drama, he simply asks for a location and an opponent, confident that his skills will do the rest. As the UFC's bantamweight division continues to evolve, Umar's message serves as a reminder that he's one of the most dangerous and motivated fighters in the world today. Whether it's a title shot or a matchup with another top contender, Nurmagomedov is ready to step back into the octagon and prove once again why he's viewed as the future of the 135-pound division. If not for the title, Umar said, just give me a fight. And with that, the challenge has been issued to Zahabi, to Figueiredo, and to anyone else brave enough to meet him in the cage.